I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone. Gotta get it on the daily. All I want is dubs. You know what I'm on. I've been chasing after paper. All I know is run money marathon.
Capital gains.
The reason why we even started this show is because, you know, a lot of artists that are currently on the road are currently making a lot of money right now. They make a lot of bad decisions. They don't make the right investments. They just balling out of control. We in the club, we throwing 100. You know what I mean? We going crazy. And, you know, then you have those people that know what to do with their money, invest properly, right? Meet a guy like DJ that'll tell you where to put your money, right? And you have a your money has longevity now. Right. You know what I mean? So that's the reason I think we really created this podcast, was to really help people financially.
I think back in 2009, the ESPN had released like the statistics of the number of athletes that go broke.
Yo, I see
after
that.
like within like 5 or 10 years of them
Ain't
retiring.
that crazy?
And it was like 75%.
That's nuts.
I was like,
it's not crazy.
That's
you gotta
fucking
think
nuts.
about that.
And I'm wondering, and I say that because I'm wondering what it's like for the music industry. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not, like you said, if you're not touring, if you're not doing shows,
royalty checks don't be that fat.
You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got if you didn't get cut the right deal, how, you know what I mean? What are you doing with your money to make it, to stretch it out or to double up?
That's why if labels really cared about what they were doing and the music that they were producing, they would want to ensure that they took care of the artists, like their lifestyle, their longevity, their family, and they would like put people in place within the company infrastructure in order to talk to them about business plans and finances. That way that the money that they do get, they're not overindulging in, because most people, when they get labels, they don't understand everything that you take from them. Like, you paying that back with interest. So you already in a losing situation when you, like, including studio time, any jury cars, house stays, any trips, like all of that. They getting all that back plus some. I read the contracts. I make the contracts.
Do you think now more than maybe, let's say, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, we're getting out of the bling bling era? You know what I mean? Where no, it's still,
we're headed.
But what I mean by you're not spending insane amounts of money on jewelry and bullshit without putting some up for your family or something, like for savings or.
You know what? Social media, bro. I'm telling you, like after COVID, social media has gotten ridiculous to where we got people doing. Remember, I think before COVID happened, you had one or two crazy people on Instagram, like Boot Gang. He had to do something crazy to go viral, right? Yeah. Now everybody's Boot Gang, right? Everybody's doing everything. You see shootouts on live. You see all type of crazy shit on live. I think we're in a day where you say bling, but I just mean like drastic, crazy shit online. Right. We're in a day where people are trying to do that because that's the new drug now.
Clout chase.
The clout is the new drug.
People dying for hearts, fam. Ain't that wild?
Yeah.
Dying for dying for likes. Dying for likes. That's crazy. Wow.
Or ruining their whole relationship or, you know, their life for just one Instagram post?
I guess the question that what I meant is, do you feel like more people are starting to be more financial savvy, like people in the industry?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Versus spending insane.
Because the internet now, I think the internet is very widespread. So there's a lot of information out there for people to attain easier. Okay. So there are people making way better decisions and just there's things going viral every day on TikTok on like different little things on credit, how to fix this, how to fix that. You're like, yo, I never knew that. So you'll apply it right away. Right. Back then,
I think to DJ's point, I didn't mean to cut you off, but to DJ's point, like what you said, labels.
I was just thinking about like several things, like how to get out your car and all types.
Labels they're not teaching, like, hey, they don't have a class for that.
Right.
They
don't want a class for that.
Right.
but yeah, you're right.
Because like somebody should share this with somebody on the label, because what they don't understand, it's the same exact thing that I do in my cannabis company, because we got a research and development company. So what I do is I provide the information to the government in order so that they can better fix their SOP, their standard operating procedures. So if I have a good pitch that entails that they still will be able to make money from the artist and make it worthwhile in order for them to put somebody into the office in order to do that, why wouldn't they do it? Only if they're evil. I'm like, if you're going to make money off of it, like, yeah.
So if you can get into any artist's ear, they get signed, brand new artist, they sign to your label, You can get in their ear and tell them one bit of information about what to do with their money. What's that number one thing? What would you tell them to
do? Are they signed yet?
They signed. Like,
got the first check?
I don't know. They get their money. Before they get their money. When you get your money, this is what you do.
Okay, they just got bread. They signed everything. First thing I tell them is I would actually tell them if they have a large lump sum of money, I'll be like, what you gonna do is you're gonna get a key man insurance policy on yourself. You're gonna get another insurance policy. You're gonna open up a trust, and then you're actually gonna buy some land, and then you're gonna have a house built that you own. That way that you're not paying an assload of money over a period of time, and you're always gonna have a place to live. Then you're gonna get a vehicle that you own that you're not gonna pay a note on. So now you have your house situated, you have your car situated, and you have your money situated because it's secured in a trust situation. And then I would allow them to go negotiate and build without with the label and stuff from there on out. But I feel like that would be a secure situation to start on any young artist.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was gonna tell you, like, look, I'm gonna tell you to go call the Prince of Hemp. He gonna give you all the dollars that you need, because that's who I'm gonna call.
Right.
I know how to make the money, but to invest it, hey, bro, all right, I got this amount of money. What we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's bro strength.
Oh man, I love money.
Nah, I mean, bro, when you love money so much, when you start learning laws on how to keep it in your pocket,
right?
You know.
No, it's so.
Well, you didn't go into your background this episode. This is our first episode, so I feel like you got to give a little bit of background about yourself. Let the people know what's going on. Who are you? Like, how did you get this knowledge?
Okay. I am DJ Bay. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan. I am a Lenape American Indian. My grandparents were the first treaty signers with the United States back in 1778. Yeah, I always put that out there. That way people know, because that's important to always know where you come from. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have an understanding of the direction I need to go in. So that also segued me into, being a Prince of Hemp. I have a federal research and development company for cannabis research, and it's also an Indian-based business. And I went to school for business contract law. So I actually also am a tribal attorney for some northern eastern tribes. So I do a lot of pipe work, and that's how I ended up also inheriting the cannabis company. But I also have several of my own brands, from Atum, the Allegiance to Unite Minds, Trust Fund Baby, and then we have American Indian AI, which is the clothing brand that we are partnering with digital billionaires and stuff. So if it's about commerce, like, that's literally what I went to school for. I got introduced to the stock market in 2nd grade. That's when I learned how to trade. I had my first business by 6th grade. And like, I'm a serial, I wouldn't even say entrepreneur, because I own the businesses. I'm not an entrepreneur, and the businesses work and they have employees. So I'm not hustling no more. I'm doing commerce. Like, I'm doing corporate activity.
Right.
And I wear suits a lot with some of the stuff I do.
That boy said introduced to the stock market in 2nd grade.
I ain't want to stop him. I'm like, hold up. What?
Look, that's some type of shit that if you see that on the news, you got your kid sitting right next to you, what is you doing? Why? He in the 2nd grade, you in the 6th. What do you get up to your room and hit the books?
No, but it was that was also because I come from a military background. Both my parents were Marines, so I was living down south in Camp Lejeune, and literally the Department of Defense schools, they ensure that they take care of those children. Because we was on Apple computers, and they literally teaching us about stop loss, how you pick, and they even gave us a little wallet for us to start investing with and everything. And I had just got done learning my damn multiplication tables, and I'm already learning how to trade stocks.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
No, but it's it all is a tribute to like how I've been able to develop today, because even like that early introduction to business, it really gave me a love for it, and just like for commercial activity, and also the importance, because wanting to have money is great, but just like that's not gonna work. You actually have to understand the patterns to success, be able to pick them out, like observe like what Warren Buffett does, what Elon Musk does, what Amazon do, Jeff Bezos, the majority, and then you find a commonality in all of these situations. One thing through my research, and like I do a lot of research, one thing that I found out about all of these wealthy individuals who run these corporations, they all came from hedge funds. Mm-hmm. So then I started to study hedge funds, and then I started seeing like, oh, everything's backed by insurance. I'm like, all of this goes back to market commercial situation, and you have to understand how securities move around, and it get real nerdy. That's the best thing I can say.
So you got a lot of knowledge. When you got on this road to like, yo, I got to know this, and you like, this is what I'm gonna do. What was your avenue?
I had just left Bethune-Cookman, and I had just went back to Detroit, and I was in one of the moments as a melanated man when you have to decide if you're gonna go out in the streets and go do some stupid shit, or you gonna decide if you're gonna like go get a 9 to 5.
I went to go do some stupid shit. I
so
just
you
felt
were-
like, I just for a little bit. I just like that looks fun. Let me go do that real quick.
Like that's a common moment for a lot of us, just because of the way that the society is set up. Because I was told, because of my education and also my mom ran a business, I was managing stuff real early. I was told I was overqualified when I'm going to go apply for jobs and stuff. So I'm like, what do I do? Had to go hustle, fam. And then throughout the time of me hustling, it's crazy because I was telling people while I'm doing whatever I'm doing at the time, allegedly, that I'm like, no, I'm like, you know that you're indigenous to this land? I'm like, have you ever heard about the Uniform Commercial Code? All just like, I'm like textbook preaching to people while they coming to go deal with me while I'm technically in the trap house. You feel me? And it resonated with me so much that I was reading documents when my first son was born almost 12 years ago. I was literally watching, and this was one of the main situations that segued me into this. It's so funny, I ain't told this story in a long time. It was an episode of Family Guy. It's an episode of Family Guy when it was the MC Hammer episode. When he was like, you can't touch this. That's the episode about sovereignty. And then it made me study it. It made me look into it. And then I started asking questions about my family. And then I found out that we're attached to Indian tribes, all types of stuff. My family is identified as being sovereign in the state of New Jersey. So it's not like none of that other crazy stuff that people, it's just like being properly educated and understand how to move. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to have a level of freedom. And then along with that, I wanted financial freedom. So I initially started learning about contract law. And then I started segueing into taxes, banking, and then understanding credit. And all of that stuff plays a big part. Then trust law. And it's just, without that information, shit, technically, one of my first company I made on books grossed over 5M. And that's some stuff I made in my garage, fam.
That's another thing. So you got a few books out.
Like 16, I think.
10,
I
you heard. You heard.
That's
You see it?
My headphones are tripping. I'm sorry, I heard 16.
He was like, yeah, I got a Rolls Royce. It's parked outside.
I got 16.
Yeah.
16.
This is one of them.
The most recent book I released was Equity versus Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so people could have an understanding of the two worlds, the equity world versus the commercial world. And I gave a couple templates with it. I give a trust. But it's like, I cater to a group of people with my information. I'm looking for people who's looking to, elevate. Are they looking for, like some type of financial freedom? That's the type of individuals that my books are for.
Is this get rich quick?
If you pay attention, you can do it. Like, I gave people a lot of games. Some people got in a really good position because October, November, December, I was telling people about this transition that we're coming into towards the second quarter. Like, Fed now dropping, right?
Yeah.
And we just, recently the Cash App individual just passed, and then now we have
that's actually something to talk about a little bit.
I'm about to say you're going too fast.
Yeah. That's actually, let's slow it down real quick for everybody that don't know. Tenny, what's his name? You got his name? The Cash App guy? Can you pull up his name real quick?
I can find it real quick.
All right. Well, the Cash App guy, until we find his name, got stabbed in San Francisco, right? Died tragically. RIP to him and his family. Condolences to his family. Within 36 hours, the IRS announced Fed Now.
That's crazy. Well, explain to everybody what Fed Now is.
Fed Now is the same. It's kind of like the same thing as Cash App. So you guys use Cash App in that platform.
much bigger than Cash App.
Okay, okay.
His name is Bob Lee, by the way.
Bob Lee.
Bob Lee.
Yeah, I think his name on Twitter like Crazy Bob or something because people remember him for his Twitter handle and stuff. But when it come to like Fed Now, That is, oh my God. So they're taking over. You can just go look on the website. That's going to be the transaction piece for Fed wires, international transactions throughout the United States. So I just explained this to somebody. So Texas just stated recently that they wanted to make a gold-backed cryptocurrency, right? So if we remove the fiat standard, which is the paper money, which everybody used, the paper IOUs, the credit system, and everybody go digital. If that happens, and then we have countries like, they technically are classified as countries, but states like Texas who have their own gold-backed cryptocurrency. We know Miami wanted to have their own cryptocurrency. So we have all these other sub-currencies. They're going to need a central system that they have to run through. And that's what FedNow is.
Wait, hold on, Tanny. You got your notebook out?
Yes, I'm writing notes.
Right.
I was about to write notes right now. You caught me.
Trying to tell you.
Yeah, you caught me in the note. Keep going though.
So literally, like, it's the central crypto system is going to be regulated by the United States the regulatory system, and they're going to make sure that every cryptocurrency that ran through there is going to be regulated by the SEC. So that means they're going to have KYCs in place, which means know your customer. You're going to have to give up your social security number and your identification. These will be considered centralized cryptography systems.
Okay.
So, and then we have like the DeFi systems, the ones like people like me favor, where you don't got to give up socials and stuff, but you can still move money around. So, excuse me, I was out the mic. But it's just beneficial to understand the transitions that's coming within these upcoming days, because if the United States dollar suffers, what does that mean for the average individual here? Because I was telling P about this earlier on the end use for a basic user. Like, we have to get microphones and stuff for here. Like the average person who do hair products, like my Empress, she get jam. Jam used to be $13 a container. Right now, jam is going for almost $30, $40 a container right now. Yeah,
the little with the yellow top jam.
The ones with no chemicals going for around $40 a container. So just thinking about the inflation on top of, we don't produce anything as a country here. Everything comes from outside of the country. So this is products that's coming from China, Vietnam, wherever, Philippines. Not from here though. So right. We have to pay for the transport, and then we also have to pay for the breakdown. So if I have to pay $40 for a container, and then this is cutting into my profit margins, I then have to charge you more for you to get your hair done, right? Mm-hmm. So inflation affects every single one of us over here, including on the food market and gas, everything. So for you to think this isn't important, you'll see how important it is when you don't have a job in 2 years.
Hit a button. How you turn it down?
Like it? All right, cool. Let's make sure.
Current events, news, this is the benefit of once again the Capital Gains podcast, because some people aren't thoroughly informed on these situations, and this is going to happen regardless. And you don't have a say so in it, because it's not your money, it's not your fiat. It belongs to the government. So if they say they want to take it all back, they can, because they have a copyright on it.
See, this is, like I said, teaching you how to keep money in your pocket by laws. Straight up.
I would with me, like,
it's much more than saving.
I got an ass load of bread in the bank right now, and only thing I'm thinking about is how much land should I buy right now? How should I diversify my portfolio? How much crypto should I get? Which cryptocurrency should I get? XRP. A lot of people thought that was going to be the one, but when the government popped up with FedNow, now people are like, oh, because the government will reel people out like how they do on XRP and let people put faith into the situation and then pull the rug from underneath it completely. And then they will force you into, this is chess, not checkers, bro. This is all strategically planned, all the way to the point where what's happening right now, they have been working on that for almost 5 years with it now.
So how you feel like the state of cryptocurrency is right now? We've been investing in crypto for a few years. I mean, even though that was a mess.
I don't. I just
crypto.
I downloaded all the apps. You know, I'm the type of guy. Hey, man, you should go do this. All right, bet. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Throw a little money in it. You know what I'm saying?
We were robbed, by the way. Like me and my wife were robbed of our cryptocurrency. Huh? Like literally, remember when T-Mobile had that hack or the crash where all the data got leaked? Data leaked? Yeah, we were one of them, and they hacked into our, what was the system we used?
The blue one, Coinbase.
Coinbase. Wait. They hacked into Coinbase, converted all our cryptos into Bitcoin, and it shot out.
I thought it was reported that it was under control.
False.
What?
We was robbed.
And the crazy thing is that Coinbase is supposed to be FDIC insured, so they were supposed to be able to get that money.
I downloaded crypto.com, Webull.
You was one of the guys that had all the apps on the same.
Yeah, I had all the apps in the same finance and then the finance.
Nah, the rules.
I heard about somebody like, you do all this? Yeah. I do.
The rules of crypto, if it's not your keys, it's not your bread, it's not your wallet. So that's the reason why people have to understand what a hot wallet is versus what a cold wallet is, because then you can offload your currency into a safe ledger.
What is the difference?
Like, so one is online, one is technically offline. Like I have a cold wallet. It's the same as a debit card. I actually have referred P to it.
Which is which?
So the one that you usually can get robbed on is the hot wallet that's online.
Okay.
The cold wallet is what you would transfer your crypto over from the hot wallet into the cold, and then that's where you leave your storage. So like I keep my cold wallet in a safe.
Okay.
I can transfer over through my phone or whatever, but you got to be right by the card in order.
So it's like the difference between a Google Drive and a hard drive.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. One is on cloud access. Other people can see your information. They can see what's on the ledger.
Hey, I got a question for you because we talked about the Starbucks thing, right? So I love Starbucks. I go there probably 3 times a day. So
Best drug in the world.
yeah, for sure. So every time I go to Starbucks, right, I put money inside the app and then I pay, right? So technically, I'm converting my USD into their currency, and then we buy the product, whatever. So we talked about our NFTs and our projects. Like, yo, how could we create our own coin or our own currency? So when people buy, whether they buy digital billionaires or whatever, they're buying our currency to buy our product.
Speaking on making your own ecosystem, or like within like a decentralized network, or how we consider like a DAO. That way, whenever somebody patronizes you, you don't have taxation over your head because you've used somebody else's money, or you don't have nobody else fees and fines because you have built out your own infrastructure in order for you to barter with people. That's very important. And for anybody who operates in a government capacity or is considered to be like a sovereign or a king, they always controlled their own currency. So even like, but the United States has put regulations on that, because at one point in time you could have made your own stable coin, but they didn't put a halt to that. So it's just, you got to understand what's going on. They don't want nobody on their playing field. And right now we in a current situation where the United States is possibly about to be knocked down to like number 7 on the world stage. We usually bounce between 1 to 3. And like China, Russia,
the Emirates, what is that? The Arabs, the Arab Emirates. The motherfuckers got bread.
He said them Arabs?
No, I did not.
Please bleep that out.
I did not say that, Danny. You ain't saying nothing all episode. That's what you come out with? All right, bet. You don't exert Arabs. Nah, bro.
Oh, my God.
The United Arab Emirates. That's what y'all know what I'm talking about. The UAE.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's at least like 6-7 different countries that's involved with this particular transaction, and they don't want the United States to have no parts in it. So once again, you got to think about like, what does that mean for us as a people, fam? Because like we the ones who take the deep, like we the ones who got to get the back end of it per ignorant administration. I'm not gonna say they name, decision making, Joe Byron, but I said I was gonna say his name.
Who?
Take me out to dinner.
No.
Hey, yo, that's funny. That's hilarious.
No, but man, it's just, if anything, like the goal with the podcast, especially from the perspective, I want to be able to bring light to situations that a lot of people haven't even been introduced to, and make it appealing, because like I'm not gonna law is not fun, fam.
Right.
But saving money is great. Making money off of this stuff is great. Suing people when getting checks in the mail is also fun, and I've done this like several of those things.
And what makes this relationship great is like, I'm the guy that's going to help your company get seen, get out there, get the audience to bring the money, right?
Well, let's talk about a little bit more about that, because you also a marketing guy too. Right. You not only shoot the music video.
That's just how I got in the game.
You're like, I'm gonna shoot the music video and make sure that it gets seen.
Right, 100%. So me and my wife created Digital Billionaires. Basically, we do everything digital, from marketing to for labels. Let's say we do the Apple streaming, the Spotify, YouTube views, running ads, the artwork, everything that has to do with digital, we do.
Right.
And that's how when you have an audience, that's how you bring in the money. And then you go to a guy like DJ, like, okay, now what do we do with the money? And that's,
I'd much rather come to you before you start making the money. That way we make sure that the money can be like tax exempt.
Like me, where like nobody taught me, like growing up, right? Every time I've entered a new tax bracket, I've always leveled my bills up. So I never really made more money. So let's just say, I'm making a certain amount of money. I'm in this apartment. As soon as I as soon as I start making more money, bigger apartment, luxury condo. Now it's like, I'm not making no more money.
Yeah, you just leveled out.
I just leveled out again. So now I have the same amount of money in my pocket, just more things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But nobody taught me that though. I never had a DJ in my life.
But sleeping in a big ass house, bro, it's worth it sometimes. But
ramen in the cabinet. You get what I'm saying?
Like, no, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. We too vegan be eating ramen.
Well, that's when I first started.
Right. You don't want to overextend yourself.
Right, 100%.
But like that's one of the curses with social media, fam. Because like social media,
have you chasing certain shit that you shouldn't even be chasing. You had no business even looking at. It will
have you out here breaking your back in order to appease people that you don't even know. And then the craziest thing, I was just telling my peers, I'm like, you renting this audience. Because if they take your page, fam, it's gone.
Yeah.
And like the best thing you can do, and it was one of the great musician, Ryan Leslie, he actually mentioned it. He give his phone number. I give my phone number. I've been giving I kept the same number for years, but it's how you create a market, a network of people that you have, you gain a connection with. And more people answer text messages than they do emails. And I know P as a marketing person will actually.
That's why I said I was like I brought up an email, a mailing list. I was like, we just send a text message. I'm like, okay, it was just that simple. I was like,
bro,
maybe I overthought it.
People don't open emails. If it's not an email I'm looking for, I'm pretty much assuming it's spam, God.
Well, you know what's crazy though? No. So email blast still get it popping. Don't get me wrong, SMS is the best, but I've seen a few emails like today. I'm looking through my emails and certain captions get me all the time. Certain I'm going to click. So really, it's all about the attention grabbing caption.
Right.
You know what I mean? One thing I think it said your account is something, and something that says something crazy. I'm like, what? Clicked it. Ad got me.
Always.
But if it's a good enough advertisement, it still can get your attention. So email do work.
Right.
But SMS is the key.
I'm not saying
what's more effective, email or text?
Oh, text all day. But email is cheaper. So email you can just, email is your grandfather them right now.
It's cheaper if you don't know how to code. I'm like, let me watch my language.
No, you fuck that.
I'm saying because remember, we at Art Basel. I was talking today. I put it with my computer. I'm sending SMS while I'm in the party. I got my computer going off in the car, bro. And I'm like, I ain't pay for that. So.
But most people do though. Like everybody's not a coder. So, most people have to pay something.
Dior, fam. I'm like, do better, like, respectfully. I'm like, you want to save some money, do some research. When I was younger, I didn't want to pay to get my car worked on. I'll go on YouTube, I'll go change my thermostat, all of this stuff. It depends on, like, how good at this do you want to be? Or, like, how much money do you have are you willing to pay into your own education or, like, your own business in order so it can scale? Like, how invested are you in your greatness?
Yeah, that's putting people on the spot.
I'm not say shit. You gonna be a bummer. You gonna ball out. It's only
sink or swim.
Well, I think nowadays with the internet, we have such a widespread of people like yourself that we can go get classes from and learn these things and then apply it to our life.
That was another thing. So we got Capital Gains. Right. That's the podcast. We also have digital products too. Right. Let's speak on that.
My film course, Guerrilla Filmmaker, should be launching next month. I keep pushing it back because I'm like a perfectionist. And he's like, bro, just put it out. And I'm like, yo, but you understand, like, I'm teaching people how to change their whole life. So I'm just thinking of new things to put in there. And it's rough because it's me, right? It's me. What would I want to know 10 years ago?
So you can always do a part 2.
No. So look, I just picked up a new book. This is filmmaking book, right? And I'm reading the beginning of the preface and everything. So it's saying it's 5th edition.
Right.
It added digital shit in there from analog to digital.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, the No Name podcast. You know where that came from? Saying fucking and just putting it out.
Got you.
And that's where the name that's where the name came from. Like, bro, I'm dead ass serious.
No, if I'm asking for people's hard-earned money, right?
Yeah.
yes, there's going to be great stuff in it, but I guess I'm just being,
he's being difficult because it's him, fam.
Right.
I'm telling you.
And it's my first course.
Right. You always, what did we say in the beginning? You always gonna be your worst critic.
Yes. Right.
You know what I mean? It's a double-edged sword because you got the confidence in yourself, but then you can be shit. I want it to be perfect.
Right. All right, fuck it. All right, I got you. I got you. I'm putting that shit out. I got you.
I'm about to say, bro, you got to.
you.
You got to. I'm about to say, I'm not gonna even put you on the spot. I'm like, when
Because
do we start
people
this?
because people are gonna start watching this.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna start gaining traction.
For sure.
And then they're gonna want something more than just the episodes.
Right.
You know, the episodes is only an hour, but if they can have that book, that's forever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm like, in all honesty, like I'm a testimony of peace because just on some of the conversations that we had, he's telling me to make certain transitions and do certain things on my social media, and like even he the reason why I had made the mastermind drop and I had did it around Thanksgiving. I had did pre-sales and everything because him and Dave were the ones who told me to do that. And the wild thing is, I'm gonna put him on the spot right now because I had called him and I'm like, hey yo, I'm like,
You know what-
where your stuff at?
You know what's
I'm like, you
fucked up?
supposed to drop with me, bro.
You know what's fucked up? I get on him about shit. I'm like, yo, why didn't you do it? He'll do it and then call me out on my shit.
But that's accountability.
Right.
You need and as much as we hold ourselves accountable, sometimes you need an accountability partner.
But why is it that the person with the knowledge doesn't do the shit for themselves, but do it for everybody else?
I don't know. That's I call it the chef's tongue.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because when's the last time you cooked for your whole family and then you sit back and you watch everybody eat and you don't eat?
Right.
That's why I call it the chef's tongue.
Got you.
It's we live in a world of service. That's one thing that we have to really acknowledge. Like everything is service based, so like we're more comfortable doing for others in a lot of situations than we are for doing for ourselves. And regardless of how selfish that we actually think we are, it's just the way that we're conditioned. Because like whether or not you believe it as a man, the majority of the things that you do is really for a woman or for your family or for your mother, for your sister, for your aunt, or because you're trying to smell good, look good for another woman, trying to get a woman. And it's nature.
Right.
Live in a service.
Because I would take both of you guys as honest businessmen, right? In order to conduct honest business, you have to actually care about what you do and then the people that you're doing it for.
Right.
Right? So that's why you have that mentality like I can do this. I can help you. But when it comes to yourself, you a little bit more, I'll get to it. Let me get to this guy because I care. That's my business. This is my work. And I want him to look good. That makes me look good. We understand that part.
It's two things though, because it's the time that's being allocated to somebody else when you're always giving to others. It's hard to give back to yourself. And then it's also the fact that a lot of times you don't get paid for doing stuff for yourself immediately, but based on having this service, somebody gonna pay for my energy. So it's more monetarily beneficial for me to give to others,
right?
Because like this gonna pay bills right now.
Some like in the form of an ebook or something like that, right?
All the time.
Yeah.
Ebook. I'm about to say he the one who made me.
I made him the ebook king, dog. I'm like, bro, you gotta do ebooks, bro. Ebook on every single topic. I'm telling you.
I'm about to say I did like 7 ebooks when he told me that. I had just knocked them out, but I had already had books published. I had did my first book was probably like the Commandments of Commerce, and then I did a book on I did a book on the Federal Research and Development Company on cannabis, the history of that. I did a whole storyline on that. I did a book on the Erie Indian mound builders, their history, and then I did a book on the indigenous growing practices for hemp cannabis, and then. He made me, these was all physical paperbacks and stuff. And then he was like, yo, you got to do the ebooks, bro. And then I'm like, So I did a metaverse ebook, a DAO ebook, a cryptocurrency ebook, an NFT ebook, and like a trust ebook, a credit ebook. So I just knocked them all out.
And you know what's interesting? People just don't take advantage of the stuff that's out here, right? Like, you know Ty Lopez, the marketing guru on YouTube, whatever. So I took his course when I first started marketing, maybe like 7 years ago, something like that, long time ago. I paid $1,200 for his course, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, I made like $70,000 the first 3 months, and mind you, before that I was broke. I couldn't even pay for the monthly payments on that joint. You feel me? But I made so much money just in the first 3 months, just following his blueprint. I'm like, yo, fuck school, fuck all this dumb shit. Like I'm paying people to learn,
right?
I just want, if you popping what you do, oh, that's what you do. Oh, okay, how you get money in that? Okay, I want to pay you to learn that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got into, okay, let's put out if you are successful at anything, there's somebody that wants to do what you do. Put out an ebook, put out a course. There's people that want that. And then you could financially be compensated for that.
And there's we're in the information age right now. And then
I say it all the time.
Yeah. And Like,
the problem is that people aren't as resourceful as they can be. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of what we call fake gurus. I think Clubhouse kind of like exposed that fake guru shit. So now we live in a time where everybody's stating all these great things and taking screenshots from this kid. But how, like how do you really know who's who nowadays?
bro, I tell people.
Well, can you trust testimonials?
Yes and
Yes.
no. If you're talking to a marketing person like myself,
Right.
I mean,
So if I take your course and then I'm like, yo, I picked up a camera and within 5 or 6 months, I'm making X amount of dollars.
anybody can say that though, right? So
That's
I
what-
could pay for that.
Right.
But the real thing is testimonies that have stories to them.
Right.
Like one of my testimonies, the guy was my man Lito. He was a principal, right? When he first got with me, he was a principal. He was doing this film thing on the side. We rocked out for about 6 months. And now he's actually filming one of the biggest podcasts in the world. You know, he hit his goal of like, I made my first 20,000 this month, bro. Like, so he's hitting goals that is like, when he was a principal, he was making that maybe in a year. You get what I'm saying? Right. So now it's like, you know, when you have those testimonies, those real stories, they mean something. Not just a guy like, hey, you changed my life, thanks. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's tell a little bit more. Like, how did he change your life?
Right,
Let's
break that down.
When you got lifetime Netflix stories, not just like little Instagram reels. Like, you got to have something that's going to shake somebody.
Like a paid shout out.
And it's not you just telling this story. You know what I mean? It's them telling this story.
100%.
I got testimonies from rappers who decided to go into court with weed on them, got arrested, and it was like, oh, this exemption got me out of jail. So yeah, I'm like, them valid testimonies. Court cases, you can trust them.
Yeah, you can
Google them.
Public records. Them shits is public records for sure.
So the type of testimonies I get, they kind of speak for themselves. Like when I was younger, I helped somebody get out of a mortgage almost 20 years early just by understanding how contracts work. And that's like, I want to be able to change the economic situation within our communities. You know, like a mortgage is a mortgage mean death pledge. That's 30 years of debt, fam. You just think, how can you be comfortable? Like, I don't know. It's just not in me to give nobody 40 years of none of me, like for retirement. Me paying nobody 30 years on nothing. 15 years bothers me, fam.
But bro, that's all we taught though. How do we know? How we know anything different?
Fam, it bothered me so much. I studied a way in order to figure out how not to do it.
So you about to give us this game right now? Cause or we about to wait for the evening?
No, we can't get into it right now because we got other episodes to do.
Gotcha.
I mean, look,
I thought we was about to get the mortgage game real quick.
This is the start of a fruitful relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
you leave it to me, I say it all. I shut up.
I can from this is the type of shit that the type of information that you, when you sitting at 3 o'clock in the morning and you scrolling through reels and stories and stuff, you like, oh shit, damn, I didn't know you could do that. He talking about what? So ultimately, you know what I mean? That's the not just that audience, but a wide range of audience that's trying to get into finances. They're trying to get their finances right, trying to figure out the right thing to do with their money while they got it. You know what I mean? Or trying to come up on some money. You know what I mean?
I guess my main thing when it comes to this is mainly because like we live in such a TikTok society, and you know, like dancing and sports, and I ran a 4.37. I got a world record in brick breaking, bro. Like I'm a third degree black belt. I'm like, sports don't faze me. I don't play no sports, none of that. But it's just like, for this to be like what we're known for as a country, like the fact that no shade to the baby girls and stuff, like the athletes get invited to the White House. I'm like, yo, you should be inviting students who are engineers and stuff to the White House, because these need to be the people who are getting influenced in order to run the country.
Right.
Like the people who are. So when I stop seeing an influence of TikTok dances and people having a more yearning in order for a development for us to do better as a people,
right,
or I either have to find a way in order to make us doing better as a people interesting as the damn TikTok dances, and that's the struggle right now.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll make it cool.
I'm not about to be on camera.
We're not doing no dance video.
I'm good, guy.
We got more episodes to come. I brought you guys in.
No, I just want to say we really appreciate y'all, man, like at Quirky Media, for bringing us in and really showing us the podcast game and just showing us love, man. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
We have a very interesting lineup for this season. I'm working on some very interesting.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some people up here. We're gonna have some crazy shit going on.
Bring them on through.
And the goal, like, just so everybody can know, the goal is really so if, like, even with like would be like, how did you get into your business? Like, what was your learning curve? Like, how are you able to benefit? What would you teach somebody about, like, who wants to get in your field? Like, what would you tell them what to do, what not to do in order to shorten their learning curve? And then also, like, I just want to make sure that people are contractually protected. That's one of the most lacking things with us as a people. That's the main reason why we have continuously been screwed over, because we don't take care of our paperwork. So that
we can get into that story next episode.
By the way, yeah, because I definitely just got for $2,000 a day because I didn't have my contract in place. I'm gonna get it back, even if I got to do it Pooh Shiesty way. It's all good.
No, we not gonna get it back in blood. Oh no.
I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone.